Pirates! They were lovely fellows, weren't they? Off out on adventures, burying treasure, fighting corrupt officials, stealing from the rich like nautical Robin Hoods. Good old boys never meaning no harm. Except pirates were bastards. In my book, The Jenny's Revenge, available on Amazon, the crew, all women that have had their lives destroyed by pirates, take their ship with the same name as the book up against some of the worst history had to offer. In order to make it feel more authentic, I delved into the history books, and what I discovered was Hollywood's lied to us, and pirates, as I said, were bastards. Now, we've all heard of Blackbeard. He was, after all, one of history's most notorious pirates. But what I've read is that he wasn't actually that bad. Don't get me wrong, he was not a nice bloke, but what he had was charisma, flair, and a reputation. So when he showed up, he put on a good show that would cause people to soil themselves and surrender. And compared to most, he was all right. Now, the crew of the Jenny's Revenge go up against two of history's worst, Ned Lowe and Francois L'Olonnais. Lowe was an English pirate who rather enjoyed torturing people. It's said that he would cut off fingers, ears, or noses, or put burning matches or ropes between the fingers and sit there enjoying as they burned down through the flesh to the bone. Either that, or he would just cut you, tiny cuts, over and over again, until you eventually bled to death. What a lovely bloke. L'Olonnais, at least if you're Spanish, was even worse. The Bane of Spain, as this Frenchman was known, was once reported to have captured 3 Spanish soldiers whilst trying to evade capture himself. It's said that he took one of their cutlasses and cut the man's heart out. He then proceeded to gnaw on it in front of the other 2 and told them that unless they provided him with an escape route, they would suffer the same fate. Before that horrendous act, he had captured a Spanish ship and had 87 members of the ship's company's heads removed. Many he did himself. The 88th he sent away with a message that any Spaniards caught by his hands would suffer the same fate. That man did not like the Spanish. And then there was Henry Avery. This English sailor, in just 2 short years, managed to amass an absolute fortune and become one of history's most wanted men. You see, Henry had raided dozens of ships before he heard of the Mogul of India's fleet returning home fully laden with treasure. Well, Henry, now he wanted some of that. So he put together his own fleet and went out to ambush them. He successfully took 2 of the ships, fully laden with treasure, but the larger was also carrying passengers. Over 2 days, and at Henry's insistence, the men were allowed to do whatever they pleased. The men, well, they were tortured and murdered. The women, regardless of their age, were horrendously violated. This almost caused an international incident between England and India, as it was reported one of the passengers was the Mogul's daughter. So, you see, and I'm sorry to burst your bubble here, pirates just weren't very nice. Savvy?